Hey there, this is Jamie, this is Side Salad Audio, and I'm a VTuber that reviews audio devices. Lately there's been some discussion regarding product reviewers, the integrity of the reviewer, whether reviews should be negative, whether negative reviews are beneficial or just harm a company, and different things like that. And this discussion in different areas has caused me to just kind of look back at my own reviews and think of where I can improve. Because looking back at my own reviews, there are definitely areas that I feel I could improve a bit. Now, the first and most obvious one is just the consistency and length of my videos. Because if you look back, most of them are quite short. I noticed this the most with my last upload, which is really short. It's only a few minutes long. And it's caused me to kind of think about how I stand by all my reviews, but sometimes the information that I give is not very much. Even though that's something that I really do want to do, I want to give a good, informative review that people are able to take something from. But the problem with the way that I review is I hate writing a script. Writing was always my least favorite thing to do in school, and when it comes to writing a script for a video, I tend to procrastinate. So what I often do is I'll just sit in front of the camera and just start talking. And while this can work for some people, for me, this is also not a very good idea, as I'm not very good at speaking just off the top of my head. I tend to ramble on or forget points that I had planned to talk about when I start to focus in on a certain key point. As well, I'm not really a good speaker, just in general. I tend to stutter a lot and get caught up on words. As well, my voice starts to kind of give out after 10 minutes or so of talking, and it starts to kind of really hurt. So just talking for a long time isn't really the best option for me. So most of my videos are cut up quite a bit to cut out the parts where I stutter or mispronounce words, and it can end up being kind of a long ordeal to get a coherent and decent review out when I'll spend a lot of time just kind of making unnecessary pauses and stuff when I'm talking. So the best course of action from this would definitely be to write out a clear and structured script that I can read and get out for a coherent video. This is the main reason that my videos fluctuate so much on their length. Because when I'm recording for, say, 20 or 30 minutes, what gets cut down to the final video can end up being quite short because there's no real structure to it. Another area that I also want to improve a bit is on being a bit more clear when I don't like something. While I've always been honest, and I've always stated whether I recommend something or whether I don't, I have noticed that I have sometimes only mentioned in passing when there's something that I don't really like about a product. Often this is because I sometimes doubt myself, because when a lot of other people say something is generally positive and I have a bit more critical take on it, I tend to shy away from saying my full view because I often worry about being, the outlier. But with all the recent talk about reviews, negative reviews, and different people's takes on if they are beneficial or not for a company or the viewer, I really do think that your full honest experience is important to have. Even if it is negative and it might look a bit bad on a company, I realize that it is important to have that perspective along with all the other reviews that people make, because everyone's going to have a slightly different experience with something. And if something is overwhelmingly positive with no critical takes on it, then that can sometimes skew the perspective of things, and the full scale and perspective might not be there. This is also why I think having a lot of different reviewers is a good thing. Listening to just one person's take often doesn't give you the full picture. And that's not a bad thing either. Everyone experiences things differently. And the more crowdsourced information that we can get, usually the best wide scope of how something is in real life we tend to get. So that is definitely something that I also want to improve upon, is being a bit more clear with the criticisms that I have on a product. Now I understand that some companies may not want to work with someone like this, and honestly, that's all right with me. I'm just an independent reviewer who's doing this for fun. So I'm in a good position to just give my honest thoughts on anything. And I think it's good to just give your full experience with something. And it's something that I want to strive to do more. So yeah, this isn't really a response to something that happened to me or anything. It's just with all the discussion going on about reviews, both in the audio space, but also just outside in the more tech space. It just had me thinking a bit more about my own reviews and how I want to structure things going forward. I had been thinking about leaving recently. I noticed that I wasn't really enjoying things as much as I used to, feeling a bit stressed, especially about when it came to reviewing things, because I am a bit more of a timid person. And I feel a bit shy sometimes about giving something a negative review or going against the grain if other people are enjoying something and I don't. But just reflecting on things a bit more, I think I can go forward by just giving my full honest experience, even if it is negative, and just try not to let it affect me in a way where I'm getting stressed about it. So yeah, that's just how I kind of want to go forward with things. Making more consistent videos with better notes and a better structure, and just not really being afraid of saying my full thoughts on something. I think that the viewers deserve it, and if I have an issue, it's good for it to get voiced. If it's something that only affects me, well, that's just my own experience with it. But if it's something that multiple people are having, more information that we get from other people as well can help give a fuller picture of how something is. So yeah, that's all I really wanted to say. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.